Hi, my name is Nur Afakila binti Manasir, number metric 264529, and I'll be presenting about the lesson of theory of framework for subject integrated case study code Bkal 3063 based on the case bot diversity at Amazon. So let's get started. There are three theories that I get from this case. Number one is similar attraction theory. Number two, justification suppression model. And number three, cognitive diversity hypothesis. Let's move to the first theory, which is similar attraction theory. This theory means that individuals are attracted to others with whom they share attitude similarity. This theory may explain some of the potentially unfair treatment based on demographic traits. For example, if a hiring manager chooses someone who is racially similar over a more qualified candidate from a different race, the decision will be ineffective and unfair. In other words, similarity attraction may prevent some highly qualified women, minorities, or persons with disabilities from being hired. Even these underrepresented groups are hired, they may receive different treatment within the organization. Similarity attraction may even affect the treatment people receive daily. As you can see the boxes on the left, the cognitive diversity hypothesis explains how diversity benefits organizational outcomes. The similarity attraction paradigm explains how diversity can have negative outcomes for an organization. We will discuss later about the cognitive diversity hypothesis. The relation of this theory can be seen on the case. Between 1997 and 2018, 18 different people had served on Amazon's board during the company's lifetime, including Bezos as chairman, Albert, and Stonesifer, all three serving for the entirety of the 30-year period. The board at its smallest had 5 directors, and its largest had 11 directors. Of the 13 additional directors that rotated through the board during this time period, only 3 were female: Myrtle Potter, the only non-Caucasian board member, Jamie Gorelick, and Judith McGrath. Next, we move to second theory, the justification suppression model. The justification suppression model characterizes the process that lead to prejudice expression and the experience of one's prejudice. The genuine prejudice are not directly expressed but are restrained by beliefs, values, and norms that suppress them. Prejudice are expressed when justification, such as attribution, ideologies, stereotypes, release suppressed prejudice. The exact process accounts for which prejudice are accepted into self-concept. The JSM is used to organize the prejudice literature, and many empirical findings are recharacterized as factors affecting suppression or justification rather than directly affecting genuine prejudice. These are the impact when some individuals face prejudice by other people. Individuals will link to higher levels of depression, stress, and lower self-esteem in those who are targets of bias. When bias is more ambiguous, individuals are more likely to attribute negative consequences to a flaw in themselves. This theory can be seen on the case where CTW Group sent the proposal to the shareholders of Amazon. Amazon board does not include any racial or ethnic minority directors. This stands in contrast to the 70 retail, internet, technology, and media companies Amazon identified as peers in its current proxy statement, each of which has at least 1 director of color, while 10 of the 17 have at least 3 directors of color. Only 6 of Amazon's top 105 executives are Asian, only 1 is Hispanic or Latino, and none are Black or African American. The underrepresentation of people of color in Amazon's leadership is at odds with its US workforce, which is fairly diverse. At the time of the proposal, all 10 board members of Amazon were white, and 7 of 10 directors were men. Since Amazon did not have any people of color on its board or in executive leadership, many contended that this did not constitute sufficient diversity on an absolute or relative basis. Further, of Amazon's 18 highest-ranking executives, only 1 was a woman. Amazon responded to the proposal citing that its director requirement process already considers diversity with respect race, gender, geography, and areas of expertise. Amazon said it was proud of its diverse board and that it was rejecting the proposal because adopting it would not be an efficient and prudent use of the company's time and resources. The next and last theory is cognitive diversity hypothesis. Cognitive diversity entails a broad range of individuals with various cognitive patterns, beliefs, problem-solving strategies, and mental perspective. This entails recruiting for culture add rather than culture fit, with specific emphasis on how an individual approaches and excels at the task allocated to their function. It encompasses trained ways of thinking learned through previous education or schooling and other sorts of formal training. Culturally learned patterns of thinking stemming from lived experiences in diverse ethnic, socioeconomic, or regional communities can be also considered cognitive diversity. As you can see the boxes on the left, example of cognitive diversity demographic includes developmental disabilities, mental health illness, race and culture, nationality, gender identity and sexual identity, personal experiences, education and class. These are impacts if the organization is lacking in cognitive diversity. It reduces the opportunity to strengthen the proportion with input from people who think differently. It fails to represent the cognitive diversity of the employee population, reducing the impact of the initiative. The relation of the theory can be seen on the case due to McKinsey study in 2015, which found that companies in the top quartile for gender and racial or ethnic diversity were 15% and 35% respectively, more likely to have financial returns above their national industry median. It was also stated in the proposal letter where CTW Group mentioned in a 2017 study of over 1,000 corporations in 12 countries, McKinsey found that companies with the most diverse leadership for gender were 31% more likely to earn above average profits, while those in the top quartile for ethnic or cultural diversity were 33% more likely to outperform. Moreover, McKinsey found that companies in the bottom tier of leadership diversity on both gender and ethnic or cultural were 29% less likely to achieve above average profitability than all companies studied. Cognitive diversity is important because diversity of thought leads to more innovative decision making. The better the business is at innovating, the more prime it is for growth. One study from the Harvard Business Review demonstrated that teams with greater thought diversity were able to solve problems up to 3 times faster than teams populated by like-minded individuals. To add more, Deloitte study found that cognitively diverse teams can boost innovation by upwards of 20%. Based on the sources that I found, the researchers found that people prefer to apply existing information to new challenges, while others tend to generate new knowledge. People also vary in their tendency to apply their own expertise versus calling on others. Teams with more diverse approaches at their disposal have been shown to be more creative and perform better. That's all from me for the lesson of theory or framework based on the case about diversity at Amazon. Thank you and have a nice day.